Hey everyone, how's it going? I forgot exactly what I was coming on this recording to talk about. I do have like a few things that I wanted to say, but I just don't know if I'm missing any important factors, but that's what you get when you're unprepared. But I did make me some spooky chicken nuggets. They're a little ghost, and bats and something else with some checker fries. So don't mind if I munch while talking to you. But, and also don't judge how I look because it's been a long day. It's my Wednesday. Got 2 more days, so I get a break. So I just bought this brush, and it is the Pro Wet and Dry Detangler. So it's the Knot Doctor. Um, and it's for Conair. And I was like, because I needed a new brush. I have a wet brush already. And it's funny because that one actually has like all the astrology signs. Hold on, let me see. Move my chicken nuggets away so it doesn't get any hair. So this is my old one. And actually it's so like, you can't even see, but there's like just the constellations and stuff in there. And I love this brush. It works so well, but it's getting old and like after a while like you want like a new brush. Well, I decided I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with a wet brush again because I liked it. And my hair gets so naughty. Like it has never in my life been so horrible. He's like, you're naughty. You're freaking naughty. So I got the Knot Doctor and I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy this brush and absolutely hate it. It is always the opposite. I was like, I hope I don't. Like, I hope I like it. But like, I was like, what is that? It's like where you say, hope for the best, expect the worst. That's basically how it was. But it's like, it has this cute little freaking case. So it's like, and I get to like, got to choose whether it was going to be like green, pink, a different color. I was like, I'm getting the purple one. I got the purple one. So like, that automatically made me really happy. And then, so when I got it and just opened it, also I ordered it yesterday and got it today. Shout out to you, Amazon. Um, you know how like goes right into good feedback into horrible feedback. I was gonna say like, you know how you order something from Amazon and it's like a really good deal and then it just doesn't show up. It's like it'll be like, okay, be there by next week or whatever, and then next week comes and you're so excited, and then it's like, actually, we don't know when it's coming and you won't know either. It actually may never come. You can ask for a refund and then it'll be like not eligible for a refund, some craziness, or show up broken. So this didn't though. It came with this little case which I love, and it's like all very silky. I've already brushed my hair, that's why there's hair in it, but it's like I like that. It like protects the brush. Um, so and it was only like 11 bucks. So that's my product review, even though I have another one coming. So my aunt and uncle are down from Maryland, and I love them so much. And they always like get the best snacks. So I love sweet tea, and I saw that there was a sweet tea inside the fridge, and I was like, I've been eyeballing it the past few days. I'm like, oh, I kind of want one of those. And I had just got the chicken nuggets and french fries, and I was like, that looks so good. Well, I noticed it says zero sugar, sweet tea, though. It's still sweet tea. So I'm like, okay, what's in this? And Like, I don't know what the ingredients are. But I took a sip of that and it was so good. So, two really, really good things going on in my world right now. Yay! It's been a long day. Let me take a sip of this. It's gonna be so good. It tastes like sweet tea, which is like it's very, very similar to like a sweet tea, but you can almost tell the difference, but not really. Like I feel like I want to buy these. Just the fact that they are zero sugar. I think it does have aspartame in it, but so does Coca-Cola, and I drink Coca-Cola all the time. And I don't really even know what aspartame is. Someone does though. I think it's like linked to cancer or something. Possibly. Um, I also have my alien shirt on with the world and my black tourmaline. Another really good thing other than the alien shirt tourmaline, my Dr. Knot and my spooky nuggets, and it just never ends. I just ordered crystals on Amazon too. I haven't bought things on Amazon in a long time, so yesterday I was like, I need a brush. So I found a brush, and then today I was like, I need that hematite because Jack has still been floating around the universe, and it's too much. I won't. I'm I feel like because like day after day I'm kind of asking myself, like, why are you still in the same position? Like, why are you still like not moving forward, not progressing? And answers kind of come to me, but I feel like I'm having trouble grounding my on my own. Like I'm just way too up there to come down. So like, energy is real and sometimes it gets a little bit crazy. I am blessed and fortunate and grateful to think the way that I do and have a mind that I do, you know, just to be able to like realize, you're making a really like, you're make, I don't want to say a bad choice, just in the position that I'm at, like being aware of it. Like I'm not clueless. I may, act oblivious to certain things and be like, oh, la di da, don't care. But it ain't true. So, oh my god, I need to eat one of these before they get cold. Mmm, mmm, delicious. Also, I really wanted to dip them in honey mustard, but this is honey mustard dressing. I was like, it'll work. It'll do. I hope it'll do. My sauces are. I was just gonna start naming a whole bunch. I was gonna be like ketchup, um, sweet chili, sweet and sour, honey mustard. Honey mustard is one of my favorite, and I like a buffalo sauce with ranch as well. Like the two together are amazing. Ketchup and mayo, amazing. When you go to Chick-fil-A and they're like, "Do you want any sauce?" Be like, "Yeah," and get whatever sauce you want, and be like, "Let me get some ketchup and mayo." This is delicious. Get you, oh man, that's a lot. I could use this little pouch of honey mustard for the whole entire bag of spooky nuggets. what was I gonna say? Okay, sorry, that's not gonna work. Trying to eat and talk. Um, I don't even remember what I was just saying, other than just nonsense, just sauces and stuff. But I wanted to kind of mention, but it's hard. Anytime I have paranormal experiences, I find them to almost be like a dream-like state where if you were to have a dream and then wake up the next morning, you know how sometimes you forget them? Like you can't really remember. Or maybe like later on the day you remember you had this dream. Or you go to try to explain it and it kind of dissipates from your memory bank. Kind of that's the way things happen. And also just kind of day-to-day life, I can't tell you what happened at yesterday's work meeting, I can't tell you what somebody said to me, what I said to them. So it's hard to just remember in general. And it's almost the opposite of what I say, where a paranormal experience sticks out to you in your memory bank like something that you can't forget. Well, anyways, I'm trying to figure out how to summarize it all because so much has happened in the past, like, I don't know the time frame either, like a week span, maybe like 2 days, maybe it was like 3 days. I can't necessarily remember when all of it started, when like my sixth sense like got heightened because it was like boom, 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 like one thing after another, which usually it's only like, it'll be like one thing and then kind of like just forget about it and then randomly it'll come back. Well, this was like coming at me over and over and over. Now, I've kind of thought it through and I've, you know, taking things into consideration. I'm not going to take back me being a spiritual person. I'm not going to take back my abilities and my gifts. I'm not going to hold that back for myself because I know the truth. At least for myself, it's still my truth, regardless if it's not your truth. So, but I can't, like, I was kind of like, I'm trying to convince myself, like, were you just very exhausted? Where you were just like, but to me, again, like, it's hard for me to even say that because that to me doesn't give a very good explanation to what you're seeing and what's happening to you in your mind. Okay, so the first thing that just popped into my head, which wasn't even in the first go around, but this was probably about a week ago. I was at work and I was running up to a house. And usually, like, when you're in a van versus like anything else, basically just a van, right? So I'll open up the door and then I'll kind of like hold my hand to make sure that door is going to stay open. I've actually gotten the keys locked inside the van one time. That wasn't fun. But it was kind of cool because the tow truck guy was like legit 5 seconds away. Like he was like, I was just at that gas station. You're so lucky. Versus like me waiting for like 30 minutes or something like that to an hour. Like that's what the dispatch people are like, you're just gonna have to sit there for like 45 minutes and wait for Austin to call you, which is my boss. And I'm like freaking out. It was like my third stop of the day. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. And I like peeped out the tow truck guy down the street. And he started heading my way. I'm like, is that my guy? Is that my savior? I'm like, God, thank you for saving me. And then like I'm like talking to him and I can't remember what exactly our conversation was, but I was like saying something about like I was like, I hope I don't get in trouble and this and that. And he's like, he's like, don't worry, this one's on the house. He was like, I was just right around the corner, this and that, just being super nice to me. he was kind of asking me out on a date, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm like trying to find the right address because after he had popped it open and everything was good again, like now I'm again trying to deliver, like wham bam, thank you, ma'am, out in 15 minutes, like the door was never even locked. And then I'm now trying to find where these business addresses are. But crap, what was I saying? Okay, yeah, so I kind of like, I'll like leave the door open. I must have been in a Ford van because, okay, I leave the door open because I don't want it to shut and lock because I have that fear. And you would think, like, okay, yo, you need like to press the button to lock the car. But no, these vans and stuff are worked to death. After like the first year of use, because they are a work van, they look like they've been used for 5 years. So, so like if a door shuts, it may lock and you're like, oh shit, like, usually you would think that you'd have a key on you. And we do, so don't even come around here trying to act like you're gonna steal the van because that would be a really, really stupid idea. There's GPS on the vans, there's cameras all over the vans. You're not gonna get away with it, so don't do it. All right, so anyway, um, so I try to keep the door open. There's been times where I've like run like halfway to the house and then I'll look back because I'd be checking on the door. I'm terrified. I'd much rather never get locked out of that van ever again. I got one time that got very lucky. It's not going to happen again. So, like, I'll see the door slowly starting to close. I'm like running back to it. I'm like, no, stay open. Even if it like does shut, it doesn't lock because like they probably took out the locks at this point. I used to do it all the time. I don't hear it anymore, but I also don't let my door shut. Well, anyways, I was back to my point. I was in this phase, like, I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like I get into like, I can feel my senses heighten. Like, I can feel when something like that's gonna happen. So, I remember I was kind of going up to the door and I looked back at the door and I was like, for something in the back of my head was like I felt like there was like a ghost around or something. Felt like something, maybe I don't know if it was something watching me. I just felt the presence of something. Not necessarily that I was watching me. I just felt the presence of something. So I was like, whatever. Nothing new for me. Like I just be doing what I do. So, but I was running up to the door and I kind of looked back and I've seen this door shut by wind. I've seen it. This I don't know why it would look like how it would look like somebody slams the door shut, but I kid you not, the door slammed shut. It was like, and I like happened to like look over at the same time. Which, what kind of timing is that? Like, there's a reason why my head turned for to watch that door shut. It was almost like someone was standing there and was like playing a joke on me or something. Like, boom, shut your door. And I'm just like, what? So that was like the one of the first things. I just remember like things were happening. Like it was like a fireworks show, like one firework after another, and I'm just like, whoa, like was that real or not? So things like that be happening all the time. My own reflections freaking me out. Okay, whew. So after that, and it's driving. I remembered kind of looking over, and this actually has happened to me in the past as well. But it's like almost like what I saw. So basically, it would just be like a shrub, and I was kind of driving past it, but it was like a golden, like, tent, and it was like an outline of a person kind of walking, just walking in a direction. Now, what would be the point of me seeing that though? Like, where was that person going? And it was almost like a split second. It like was like of a motion going this way, but where was he going? Like it was nowhere significant. It was nowhere, like it was just there. It was like, okay. So it triggered my mind to think like ghosts are just out here too. Like they're everywhere as well. Like I don't know what made me see that. I still don't really have that answer. The only thing that came to me was like they're here. So then after that, and those were 2 different days. Those were 2 different days, mate. I think so. But I felt like the day where I was driving and I saw like it was almost like a person ghost walk, and it was just like what, like it wasn't like I moved, saw their legs moving. It was just like I knew they were moving in a direction, and it was like nowhere. It was like by this bush. But other things were happening that day too, and I can't really recall what other ones they were. Now, I know during the nighttime whether this would have been later on in that day. And so like so then you guys are probably like, then why are you saying it was like setting off like fireworks? And I can't really remember. I really can't. I mean, day to day I feel like I am very connected, like I go through thing experiences like all the time. That's kind of just like it's my lifestyle. Um I just like I don't know how to like put this in words, but like it's not every second I'm seeing like a ghost or something like that, or going through this like really like almost like trippy psychosis or something. Like I don't know. Now, do I feel like it happens frequent? Yeah. But so like some experiences are more like apparent than others. Like it'll like stick out to me and I'll be like wanting to tell somebody. Like when I tripped down the stairs and it legit, that's a whole nother like that's almost a whole video in itself, the ghost that lives in this house. I have no idea, but the ghost that lives in this house tripped me downstairs. And nobody wants to believe me because they never believe me. But I swear, I was walking down the stairs and he grabbed my foot and he was like, whoop, you die. And I broke my rib, like, didn't even know. The way, okay, when I slip or if I like lose balance or if I like, tripping, I usually catch myself. I'm not saying I haven't fallen, I'm not saying I haven't busted ass. One time I went rollerblading, I fell directly on my back. But like, like catch myself or some slide. When I fell down those stairs, I was in the air. Like it was like a funny movie or something like whoop, where it's like whoa, and your like legs are in the air, and I was like boom, fell straight on my back. My little cousin sitting on the couch, he just looks over at me. I legit couldn't breathe. I was like like dying. I'm like you might have to call 911, like freaking out. They're laughing. They're thinking it's funny. They're thinking like nothing, like she's fine. Cause if like you've seen someone trip down the stairs, they kind of like doo doo doo, like that. No, I was like picked up in the air and dropped. So anyway, I ended up coming around, kind of breathing better, this and that. But I like got into my bed, and when I woke up, I was like, I couldn't even move. And I was working at Walmart, and they be having you push around this cart and like step ladder and blah blah blah, working. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to work. And then, but I like came into work the next day, and then like my team lead was yelling at me and stuff, and I was like, dude, I was like, sorry that I fell down the stairs. Like I didn't even know my rib was cracked or anything like that. And then eventually I went to the hospital for chest pain, and they admitted me because, and this is the weirdest thing too, it's like I have no idea why I was admitted. Like that's a part of my problem, and I get that. But I believe like I was prying for answers and I couldn't really even understand. I think it was some type of like heart arrhythmia or something. I have no idea. But that's when they told me that my rib was broken. and and like the two could have been correlated or whatever. And then they gave me morphine, and the the nurse was like, but I don't like recommend this. Like the doctor prescribed, and then she came in and she was like, I don't really remember, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take it. So once I took it, I feel like my whole everything was gone. Like I was not able to speak for myself. I was not, at least in the way that I should have. Like I was too carefree. Like coming from like the stoner. Okay, that's not what we're talking about though. We'll get into that another day. But um um but to cap it, put a cap on it, the ghost grabbed my leg and like flew me in the air. Thanks a lot, ghost. So what happened? I pulled into the driveway and then kind of like looked towards the door, the front door. And then as I was walking up, it was like this whole like a trance of like a wave, like a black like it was like woo, as if it was like ahead of time, like just kind of like going through into the house. Like it was like and like went into the house. I'm like, okay, some weird dark energies like following me into the house or actually beating me into the house. I'm like, that's cool, fine. But I didn't feel like scared or anything like that. Like I wasn't like, I did not like that energy. Like it wasn't that. It was almost kind of like playful and funny. So, but then I came inside and I'm sitting here. I'm gonna flip this. Okay, that massive lion, right? Many times have I looked at that. By the way, I love it. Like, I feel like he's like sitting there, like protecting me. But at the same time, like, it kind of scares me. I should probably sage that because I don't know exactly what's going on. His eyes kind of looking at me is kind of like freaking me out. I try to not let it scare me because I think I might be getting in my head a little bit too much. But or maybe it's whatever is around here trying to trick me. But so I'm chilling in my room and I don't know exactly what's going through my mind or anything. I don't really know like, if something has like um persuaded me to think a certain way, but it doesn't matter because the reality is this is what I saw and this is what happened. I was looking up at that and then all of a sudden, and it's weird how it happens too because I don't know. I'm not saying like the whole entire lion like switched or morphed into something. It was just like it came from it. It was like making me like want to look at it, and then it was like this weird like it wasn't necessarily a worm, but it was like it had like this like weird face, kind of like my face. And then he had like this weird smile, but he like came from there and like transcended over to me, and he was trying to like be in my mind and trying to be in my body, and he was just like smiling like all weird, and I was just like I remember thinking in my head like, no, like I I don't allow you into my space. Like I don't allow you. And then automatically like I'm thinking of like Lee in the house and everybody else in the house and I'm like, you're just not allowed at all. Like just get out. As sad as scary as it is to talk about and think about, like there are evils out there in the world. And I'm not saying maybe, maybe in your world, you know, hopefully that is just a false um reality. Hopefully that doesn't exist in your world. I don't want it to exist in your world. But to think that it could be real, to think that, you know, somebody might actually, you know, be something might come along the way and take over you because it's an entity or something like that. That type of stuff freaks me out. Somebody that doesn't have like a strong enough mental, like no, I'm not I'm not okay with that at all. Now, whatever that thing was on the wall, it did give me a little bit of like uneasy feeling. It wasn't like, "Oh, hey, we're buddies," like let's be friends. Like it wasn't like that at all. And actually, I believe I closed my eyes to try to like look at it better, and I'm just like, "No, I don't understand." I feel like I just heard a growl. I'm so done. I'm so done. But I'm just I'm just confused by what it was. Like was I searching for answers to see like the truth and what was really happening and it showed itself like I'm okay with that. But like it's so fucking weird too. Sorry for cussing. I'm just saying the lion tapestry though, even as much as I love it because it's such a beautiful thing, I feel like the past like course of months, maybe like half a year, like it's giving off like weird vibes. I feel like the power of my love comes over all of that. Like I would never like go like taking this out and burning it or something like that. Like no. I feel like when I did this reading, it made gave me the idea of staging it. That's a very good idea. Or something else. I don't know. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna tell you what I'm cleaning it with, but it's like PS. Um, but like I've woken up out of my sleep like in a horrible okay, so you have a bad dream and then you have a night terror. Like I woke up and I was like screaming because I looked at that and it looked like something else. Numerous occasions have I woken up and looked at that um, tapestry and seen something different than the lion. Like, so I don't know exactly what's going on. I keep feeling like I'm hearing something as I'm talking about it. So it's just kind of weird. I think it's just normal noises going on around. Um, it's like if anything's in this room, you need to go. Um, so I don't know, but that's that. Um, not too worried about it, but I just really like I just found it to be like something interesting to talk about. I didn't necessarily do a reading yet, but because I started talking, like I almost feel like I want to like do a reading now, but I might just kind of like close it off here and then do another one. But those were some of the experiences that I've had, the past couple days. I feel like there was another one that was like cool. But yeah, when my door shut, it was like someone was standing there and was just like waiting for me to get far enough away and he was just like bam. Then the golden um yeah, I can't think of any of the other ones. So basically saging that tapestry, getting whatever's out, and also, you know, fighting this this demon thing like luckily he seemed like I don't know. But at the same time, like with the whole demon thing, like I'm just like this is not real. This is not real life. Like, really? Like I get it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. Like it could legit be like some exorcist shit where it's like, and I'd really be scared. Like, but oh, so I just looked up at the TV and I'm looking at my own reflection and it's like you can't even see my face. You can only see this white, so it like brought out my face. And so it's like it's all dark here and dark here. So it looks like I'm that like shadow person or that person that's like the hat man. No, that shit is scary, okay? That's not something I could like I'm not scared because I know God. Like I know God overcomes everything and I'm gonna believe that till the forever. But it's not to say that something can't scare you. Now, I did kind of like see some things on the Hat Man, and it's like you don't want to be afraid with him. Like, you don't want to, you know, give into that fear because that's what he feeds off of. So it's like I'm not playing that game. And at to this certain point, we're gonna just believe, Hat Man's over it. Like he has moved on to something better in life. He doesn't want to do those things anymore, and that's just the way that is. But but obviously, when you start talking about spooky things, like if you're out at a campfire or something like that, like, if you start talking about scary stuff, you're gonna be terrified. Stop playing. It's like, so a lot of the times I'm alone, so if like I'd be like looking around, I'm like, oh God, like, is some hello? Is somebody there? So it's a lot scarier when you are dolo. It is a lot scarier, when you're by yourself. Go walk on a trail at night by yourself versus having two friends with you. I won't do it unless I have two friends with me. So it's just, I don't know how to explain it. But at the same time, I feel like that makes me very vulnerable for these situations. So, you can take it or leave it. But the Hatman thing, that probably happened like a half a year ago, but like I was like looking out my back porch and I thought I like had seen something and it scared the living shit out of me. I was like making sure the door was locked and shit, and I was like, is he gonna try to come in here? But then I kept saying, I rebuke you in Jesus' name. Um, I was like, I'm not afraid of you. Go away. Like, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I don't care. Like, I'm not afraid. I'm just not going outside. but, but yeah, so I don't know what made me bring up that, but I just like felt like the like energy's like here or something and it's like trying to come get me. Like just stop thinking about it. Stupid hat man. But yeah, also sorry, I had to eat a chicken nugget. I don't remember what I was talking about. Dang it. Some about like the hat man and all that shit's stupid. Oh yeah. So with my uncle being down, somehow we got into this conversation of because I'm a night owl, so I stay up at night and like I'll be getting back at like 3 in the morning. Well, like I already kind of don't really like this neighborhood. Like I miss my 716 Bayside Boulevard, but I don't know. We're just a weird neighborhood, and it's a little bit bougie. So like I don't know. I just feel like it's just a different vibe. Like it's just not that there aren't good things because there is, but certain things are just kind of aggy. Well, this is like 3 a.m. So I'm getting out of my car. It's all fucking like quiet. But there's like this really, really like okay, like On a normal night, if you got out and everything be super quiet, like you could hear like little shit. So I got out, I opened my door, and then all of a sudden there's like, and this is really hard to explain, but like there's like some really, really crazy, like morbid, like music. And it was like dead ass in the middle of the night. It was so fucking loud. I was like looking around, like I was jumping out of my skin. I was so scared. It was like the most threatening music. And I'm not over exaggerating. Like, it was like, I'm gonna get you. It's like, I'm gonna tie you up and kill you and slit your throat. And it's like, ding, 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 like some crazy ass music. It was scary as fuck. Like, I was like, I don't know what to do other than run to my door. Like, I believe I like got back into my car and I was like, well, I can't just be stuck in this car. And then if I sit in my car, then they might notice that I'm here. Mind you, I don't know where it's coming from. It's in the middle of the night, so I don't know. It sounds like it's almost coming through like a speaker, like 'cause it was like really loud. But stop me there because if it's coming through a speaker, like maybe they're unaware that their Bluetooth speaker or something is on outside. If it's coming through a speaker, if I was that person's neighbor, because you can hear everything through our fucking walls, I can hear the neighbors standing outside talking every night because my dog barks. Sorry, neighbors. You can stand outside and talk all you want. I don't care. The dog barks regardless. He also barks at the ghost in the house. But it's like, how did the neighbors not hear that? How are the cops not being called? Like, I don't understand. Cause like I was like debating in my head. I was like, is that a scary movie? And if it was, that was the scariest movie I've ever. That person is into some weird ass shit. Like that, it was giving me threatening vibes. Like something was not right. Like, okay, you have playing a prank, scary movie, fighting somebody physically, arguing with somebody, then to like threatening their life, because that should get scary. Domestic violence down here, like, um, plotting to murder someone, and then even further is like actually murdering somebody. I tried to do a scale there. It didn't really work out the way I wanted to, but this was very scary. And I'm just like, so I run to my door because I wasn't going to stick around because I was like thinking in my head, I was like, should I record this? Because I don't know what this is. I did not have the guts to go investigate it, but I go inside. It was very scary. It was like talking about like the devil and shit. Like, I have no idea, but I was not sticking around. I ran to the door. I'm like, seriously, like so fucking scared. I'm like looking behind me, trying to like put the code in because we have a code. And I finally get in, and then I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, were they pranking me? Like, were they trying to scare me? Is that what that was? Like, ha ha, you got me. But that was still like I was gonna come out the next day and they're gonna be like, "Oh, we got you. We were trying to scare you." And I was gonna be like, "That's not fucking funny at all." Like, that's kind of crossing the line because even when I was like thinking, I was like, if it was a prank, I was like, I don't think that was a prank because that was kind of like past the line of pranking somebody. Like, so I hope when I'm explaining this, it might give you some like support into believing what I'm saying because Jesus Christ. My phone's ringing. My cousin's going to be calling me. So I'm going to go pick him up from the gym. I'll be right back. Oh, it's still recording. Hold on.